Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and agreeing to spend a few minutes of your day with me. Welcome to Misdemeanor Crimes 2025 Draft Show. Now, this time of year, all of us football fans are sweating over the guys that's coming out of college, and this year is no exception. What, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Will Campbell, Ashton Jeanty, oh my goodness. If you could have a team with all those players on it, why shouldn't you want it? But even though we're all sweating over those players, us Saints fans usually don't see one of those. Though last year we did get lucky and we ended up with Talaise Fuaga, who all of us Saints fans wanted. Well, scuttlebutt has it going around that we're going to draft Shedeur Sanders, but I don't believe for 1 minute that Shedeur Sanders is going to fall down to 9. I don't believe for 1 minute that Will Campbell is going to fall down to 9. I don't believe for 1 minute that Ashton Jeanty is going to fall to 9. So, what I have chosen to do with this draft is find players that are liable not to be drafted where the Saints are going to pick. So, here goes my 9-player draft, because as far as I know right now, and this is on Tuesday night, 10:03 p.m., the Saints have not executed any trades or given up anything to move down in the draft yet. So, my picks are based on that fact. All right, here we go. Emory Jones Jr. played at LSU on the same line that Will Campbell did. He's pretty dang good. Gave up 1 sack across 846 snaps. Now, he's pretty good, but here's his minuses, since nobody will tell you those. He has balance issues consistently, limitability to control defenders. His hand placement needs work. Lunges at speed, vulnerable to inside counter moves. He struggles at IDing and picking up late pressures and stunts. His concentration lapses in hostile environments, liable to get false start penalties. Projected to be a better guard than tackle, but looks like to me that wherever you put him at, he's going to be pretty good. (6'5", 313 pounds. Wow. Sounds like a pretty good offensive lineman. Just right for Kellen Moore. Jaden Higgins would be my second pick. He reminds me of Marcus Colston. But like I say, you can see all his pluses right there in front of you. His minuses: he struggles to disengage from defenders. Not very good in contested catch situations, and he can be disrupted by smaller defensive backs. He's not a good run blocker, and in the NFL, a lot of times, a wide receiver needs to be as good a run blocker as he is a route runner and pass catcher. But what he is, for all his minuses, he is a football player who knows how to get open and how to make plays. Just look at him. He's number 9. Beautiful. Uses that body to make those catches. A lot like MT. Touchdown. Doesn't seem to do much after the catch. He's concentrating on catching it first thing. We worry about Yak afterwards. Okay. I like him a lot. Tate Ratledge would be my next pick. Guard from Georgia, 320 pounds. His minuses? Limited flexibility as far as position. His experience is primarily at right guard, and that may impact his value to teams looking to draft him. Sometimes over-aggressive in pass protection, has balance issues. In recovery situations, from those balance issues, he is liable to hold. He has durability concerns, having had 2 lower body injuries in college in the last couple years. Excuse me. He struggles adjusting in space versus smaller linebackers on the second level. Hand placement can be wide versus defenders, compromising his leverage against those players. But he is good. He is good at the point of attack. Drive blocks. Can control the point of attack, as you see. Personally, I think he's better than anything we got on the Saints team right now, don't you? Ty Hamilton. I went searching for a player who was a nose tackle. Because, in that 3-4 defense, that nose tackle is a pretty important place to be. He's going to be lining up right there over center. So we're going to need someone that's strong, that's fast, and that has a good push off of his initial motion. What his minuses are. That bull rush that I'm talking about, he relies very heavily on it, and he lacks counter moves when that bull rush is stalled. His hand placement when blocking is erratic, allowing blockers to get leverage over him. He hesitates in executing stunts and twists, and he's late to recognize rush schemes. Too focused on driving blockers backward, and sometimes he overplays the penetration. He needs to develop hand-fighting techniques to disengage from blockers when his power rush is neutralized, because I do suspect that power rush, that bull rush, is the best weapon he's got. But I do believe he is on the right team to have a teacher to teach him otherwise. Look at him. He's 6'3", 295 pounds. Watch him. He's number 58. I believe that Kellen Moore has a type that he likes at quarterback, and I do believe Tyler Shell fits that bill. 6'5", 219. He spent 7 years in the college ranks, and he's older than generally quarterbacks are when they come out of college. He's 25. That's one of his minuses. He is injury prone. Played 42 games across 7 college seasons. He tends to lock on his first read and doesn't work through his progressions. And his completion percentage drops precipitously under pressure. Perhaps that's the same knocks that most quarterbacks have, especially the completion percentage drop when they're under pressure. But look at what he does do well. But whatever he doesn't do, he's better than a Derek Carr all day, every day. My next pick would be Brashard Smith. Oh, I really like him. He reminds me a lot of Reggie Bush. And he has some of the same weaknesses that Reggie Bush had. First off, he's a little undersized. Can't handle consistent between the tackles workload. And you know Reggie Bush couldn't do that either. He's still developing an interior run game. He likes to bounce things out on the edges like Reggie did. His blocking is substandard. It'd be nice if he'd learn proper blocking fundamentals. And another thing that he does, he carries the ball loosely, and I know you saw, maybe the first or second carry that he had on the film that you're watching, he fumbled the ball, went up in the air, but he did catch it. All the time, that ball ain't gonna bounce back to him like that. He has good vision in space, good at finding cutback lanes, but his interior vision on the run needs work. But all in all, he's fast. I think he runs something like a 4.3 or a sub 4.3. But he's fast. He's good. Like I say, he reminds me of Reggie Bush. And wouldn't you like to see something like him in the backfield with Alvin Kamara? Oh, that'd be almost as good as Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram was. Wow. A girl can dream. You will notice that since the Saints screwed over Jimmy Graham the way that they did, both Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton, that we hadn't had a decent tight end in the building since. Karma. God don't like ugly. But here's one thing. Maybe we can lift some of that karma by drafting this young man here, Gunnar Helm. He does all the things a tight end does. And you can see what his strengths are by watching him here. His weaknesses? He needs to hit the weight room. He can be overwhelmed by defensive ends. Right past him to the quarterback because he's not strong enough to hold that block. He has a limited route tree. He slants. He goes down the field. He's a good red zone weapon. His hands. Blocking. Inconsistent, and he's likely to get holding calls in the NFL because of it. And he needs to be able to sustain blocks throughout the play, especially in the run game and also in the pass game. But wow, look at that. He's number 85. Not much after the catch, but he's a big old body. He's 6'5", 250. That's an awful lot for a defender, especially a defensive back, to try to bring down. There he goes. Not very fast, but quite efficient. Cool. When I think about a ball hawking safety that'll knock the straight sugar out of you, I tend to think about Darren Sharper rotting away right now in a Louisiana prison for doing heinous things, drugging women to have sex with him when he's so fine and so good looking that a lot of those women would have paid him to do them, myself included. Anyway, I like Billy Bowman Jr. a lot. 5'10", 200 pounds, a little short. You can see what he does well besides being a ball hawk and a big hitter. One of his biggest knocks is his size. That 5'10", 200 pounds, he doesn't have a lot of height to deal with taller receivers who can just reach over him and snag a ball, and tight ends. His tackling needs improvement. He tends to drop his head and then his feet go wherever. Sometimes he's over aggressive, pursuing on run fits. Losing gap discipline. Gotta maintain those gaps, especially if you're gonna zone. As far as trying to intercept balls, that's, it's something that a safety does do. He has a limited catch radius and a limited tackle radius due to his size and his wingspan. Sometimes hesitant when approaching runners in the alley. Maybe runners that lie to knock the sugar out of him, but, that's beside the point. That's nobody likes to get hit. It's just a part of what you do when you play football. He's number 5 here. Watch. Like I dug into the draft looking for a nose tackle, I also dug into the draft looking for a middle linebacker. Such a player has to be able to diagnose plays since he is the quarterback of the defense and put players in the proper positions where they would be successful on any one particular play. Think Jonathan Vilma, especially in the NFC Championship game against Minnesota. This young fellow has those qualities. His negatives? According to the scouting report, he lacks elite sideline to sideline range. They said elite. They didn't say that he wasn't capable of it. They said he wasn't elite at it. He struggles in man coverage versus tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. Even though he is a big hitter, he's inconsistent with his tackling efficiency. And he has to improve his ability to disengage from blocks at second level. And it's a plus that he is familiar with that 3-4 defensive scheme. So, have a look. He's number 2. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Misdemeanor Crimes 2025 NFL Draft for the New Orleans Saints. Now, I know that the Saints probably won't draft a single one of those players that I have picked for my draft. They usually never do. And personally, I do question one of my own picks, and that's Tyler Shaw, the quarterback. 6 games a season in 7 seasons? Well, wow. But then you consider that this is probably one of the weakest quarterback classes to come through in quite some time. And he's definitely not a great pick. He's a project. Definitely a project. But I'm not so sure that he wouldn't get injured walking out of the tunnel. Anyway, y'all, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Brian Pearson, here's your draft show. Y'all take care. And like I always end my shows, whatever happens, whichever way it goes, don't get too mad and don't get too glad.